Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Canny Crystals, the podcast. As you know by now, my name is Mart, I am your host, and this week we finally come to the end of our adoption journey. Can you believe it? We got a report the other day to read through before it goes to the panel next Friday. So basically they make the final decision, on whether or not we'll be approved as adopters. And honest to God, the report was so long. It took us around 2 hours, 45 minutes to read through it. So I'm just happy that, from next Friday, we'll have an answer. And you never know, in a few weeks' time, I could potentially be recording these episodes with a screaming baby in the background. Delightful. So anyway, this week's episode, it was something that I spoke about last week in my Manifest with Mart membership on the New Moon Live call. And it's about how we manifest using the power of love. And I've tried my very hardest to restrain myself from breaking out into full Celine Dion there, so please bear with. But when we think about it properly, life can be pretty simple if we break it down. It's just a mix of two main things. We've got all of the good stuff, which are all the positives in life, such as receiving a cuddle, seeing your friends, seeing your family, doing something that you enjoy. And then on the flip side of that, we've also got the not so good stuff, which is all the negatives in life, such as, having arguments, hurting yourself, being angry. So every part of your life, whether it's health, money, relationships, job, how happy you are, every part of your life falls into one of those categories. It's either you have a lot of something or you don't have enough. It's one or the other. So having plenty of money or not enough, or being super healthy or having health problems, or, enjoying great relationships or dealing with conflict, having a fantastic career or feeling unsatisfied, or being really happy or struggling with feeling bad. Think of life as being like a big, big quilt that's made up of good and bad patches. So if your life seems to have, more bad stuff than good stuff, you probably know that something's not right deep down inside. Because you'll see other people who seem really happy, they've got a lot of good things in their lives, and deep down, you believe that you deserve that kind of life as well. Because I did this for years, and I mean years. Most of it came down to conditioning from my mum, for example. She would show absolute hatred towards some of my friends at school's mothers. And that was simply because they had more money than us. So when I grew up, I would kind of despise people like the Kardashians, for example, who I felt had been, given privilege served to them on a plate, even though it had absolutely nothing to do with my own life whatsoever or my journey. So I remember I would go around to, friends' houses on an evening, and my mum would have asked oh, what did we get up to or something? And I'd be like, oh yeah, we played on this computer game. And she was like, oh, computer games rot your brain and stuff like that. And she would just make really sly comments as though she was angry about it. But I knew fine well it was purely because, they had more stuff than we did. They had more money. She used to be like, oh, look at them all la-di-da. Just because they had 2 cars or, 2 ovens or a laminate floor, something like that. So believe it or not, but most people feel this way as well. And it's all because of societal and parental conditioning. Now, most people who have these absolutely amazing lives, they might not know exactly how they got there, but they know that deep down inside that they tapped into something powerful. And that something is the root of everything good in life. So here's the secret, okay? Every person who has created any kind of exceptional life for themselves, they use the power of love to make that happen. Because love is the secret sauce that brings about all the good and all the positive things into our lives. And just by me even saying that, I can immediately think of situations, where I've thought the worst possible outcome of a situation, and I've received that very same outcome. It's been absolutely awful. So one example that sprung straight to mind was last March when I was humming and hawing about, handing in my notice to the NHS, all my family telling us not to do it, that it'll never work out, that, I'd struggle to make any money selling rocks, as my nana put it. And so my biggest fear was that I would go self-employed and I wouldn't get any sales. So I wasn't showing love to my business. I wasn't showing love to Canny Crystals. I wasn't showing love to the NHS. I was just showing absolute fear, because fear is the opposite of love. So my biggest fear was that I wouldn't get any sales. And guess what happened for the first time in my business? I had 3 days consecutively in a row without any sales. It was almost like the universe's way of, serving up exactly what I was thinking about, because we all know thoughts become things. It was almost like the universe was saying, you're scared of no sales. Here's what that looks like. There you go. Ta-da! And it just served me up on a platter exactly what I was thinking about. And the same is kind of evident for the exact opposite as well. So just thinking of another example off the top of my head was when I was on Tipping Point. I spent that whole morning in absolute gratitude for even just being in Bristol, having been sent down there, having been put up in a hotel, having my food and drink paid for, having me taxi to the studio paid for. I was treated like absolute royalty. And I was just so happy to even just be there and to meet people and to see like how it all works backstage. And then I was ultimately rewarded with winning £3,500 on that show. So love has been talked about through history, we know this, in various religions by philosophers, prophets, leaders, but often we struggle to fully understand what that all meant. And even though they might have been talking about like love in their own times, their message remains the same today. Love is the mightiest force in the universe. Like Shakespeare used to write about this all the time. So the love that these great people had and the world changers had, and that they're mentioned, is different from what many people usually think of as love, because it's not just warm and fuzzy feelings. Like, love is a powerful, positive energy. It's not weak, it's not soft, it is the driving force behind all the good things in life, because in the end, there's just this one positive force, and it's called love. So if we think of, the big powers in nature, like gravity or electric, like we can't see them, yeah? We can't see them to the naked eye, but we know that they have a significant impact. So you've just got to think of love as being a force like that, because yes, it's invisible, but it's also incredibly powerful. Like, it's everywhere, just like nature's forces. And without love, there would be no life. Yeah, electricity is so powerful. Think of it that way. You can't see electricity, but I dare bet if you lick your finger and stick it in a plug socket, you would sharp see it. Yeah, please don't do that, by the way. So imagine a world without love. So none of us would even probably exist, because we all came into the world through the love of our parents. There would be no people on Earth. So if love disappeared today, humanity would just slowly decline and eventually vanish. Yeah, it's that mad. Like, every amazing invention that there is in the world, every single discovery, every single creation comes from the love in someone's heart. Get that into your head. Okay. For instance, without the love of scientists or inventors and explorers, we wouldn't have electricity or heating or light. We'd be sat here in a freezing cold house. We wouldn't have cars. We wouldn't have phones. We wouldn't have an oven. We wouldn't have technology that makes life more convenient, such as, microwaves, for example. We wouldn't have houses, buildings. Cities probably wouldn't exist. We'd just be living in caves, because without the love of architects and builders, there'd be no one to build houses. Love is behind medicine, doctors, hospitals. It's what enables education, books, art, music. Every single thing that you see that humans have made is because of love. And without love, I wouldn't have had the passion to create Canny Crystals, and you wouldn't be listening to this podcast right now. For a start, there would be no such thing as microphones. There'd be no such thing as a laptop. You wouldn't have the internet. You wouldn't be able to listen to me. I'd be sat in a cave probably teaching you all right now. You'd all be sat around in a circle. Everything that you wish to achieve or have in your life is connected to love, okay? So you've just got to see love as being like a powerful engine that drives you to do things. And without it, you'd be pretty much motionless in life, because love is what gets you out of bed on the morning. It makes you work. It makes you play, dance, talk, learn, listen to music, everything else. It's what ultimately gives you the urge to achieve your goals and desires. So love has this incredible ability to create good things and to make good things even better, and turn all that negativity and, negative situations into positive ones. Because you have the power to shape your health, your wealth, your career, your relationships, and every aspect of your life. And that power is called love. It lives inside of you. And you're probably shouting out right now, but Ma, if I have this amazing power within me, why isn't my life already fantastic? Why aren't all areas of my life wonderful? Why haven't I achieved everything I want? Why aren't I happy every day? The answer is that you have a choice. So you can choose to embrace and use the power of love, or you can choose not to. Nobody's forcing you to. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. So every day of your life, every single moment, you've been making these choices, whether you realize it or not. And it's like when people always say to me, like, when I first teach them about manifestation, they can ultimately see why situations in the past have gone the way that they have. And we create our own lives, whether we're intentional about it or not. So we might not be aware that we're manifesting, but ultimately we still are. And I say this to people all the time. So you've been making these choices, good or bad, throughout your entire life, whether you realize it or not. And they've had that detrimental effect on your life. So whenever something good happens in your life, it's because you've embraced and you've harnessed that positive force of love. And on the other hand, when things aren't going well, it's because you didn't choose love, and that led to negativity, so you could have chose fear, for example. Love is the reason that good things happen in your life. The absence of love causes negative experiences, pain and suffering. And unfortunately, many people kind of lack this understanding about the power of love. And that absolute lack of knowledge is evident in the lives of people around the world today and throughout history. So if we start to think about love in terms of the law of attraction and manifesting, the law of attraction extends from the biggest universal things all the way right down to the tiniest little atoms and particles. So it's what keeps every star in the universe in place in the sky and shapes every single atom and molecule down in our body. So the sun's attraction keeps the planets in our solar system from drifting away into space. We know that. Gravity's attraction holds us, along with every living being, plant, mineral, to the earth. So you can see the force of attraction at work in nature. So whether it be something, like a flower that's drawing in bees or a seed that's pulling in nutrients from the soil, it's what makes living creatures come together. So when you think like living creatures, they form groups, schools, flocks, whether they're animals on land, fish in the sea, bird in the sky, we see this all the time. The force of pure attraction holds our body's cells together. It keeps your house standing. It keeps your car on the road. It keeps water in your glass. So every item that you use is held together by that force of attraction. So that's the first thing that we need to get our head around and understand. The second is that attraction is also what draws you to your favorite things and places and brings you closer to your friends and your loved ones. So now that you know what the force of attraction is, we can rename it. So what is the force of attraction? It's nothing other than love, yeah? So attraction and love go hand in hand. When you find yourself attracted to your favorite food, that feeling that you're expressing is essentially love for that food. So without attraction, you wouldn't feel much about anything. All foods would just seem the same. They would all be bland. You wouldn't know what you truly loved or what you didn't love because there'd be no attraction. So whether it's another person, a city, a house, a car, a sport, a job, music, clothes, whatever it is, it's through the force of attraction that you then experience love. So the law of attraction is, in essence, the law of love. And it's an incredibly potent law that maintains harmony. And trust me when I say that it's at work everywhere, within everything. And it's also governing over your life as well. So in simple terms, the law of attraction can be summed up as, like attracts like. Put even more simply, when what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. So everything you give in life is what you'll receive back according to the law of attraction. It's about the energy that you send out returning to you in kind. And I'm sure that your parents used to, say things like, nice things happen to nice people, or you get what you put in, or something along those lines, yeah? This is pretty much the same principle. So every time you do something good for other people in the world, something good will come back to you. It's like a rule of the universe. So if you spread out positivity and kindness, you'll get positivity and good things in return. But if you put out negativity or you act unkindly, you'll get negativity and tough times back, okay? And guess what? You share positivity and negativity through your thoughts and feelings. So every moment, whether you're thinking positively or negatively, you're either feeling good or bad. So whether these thoughts and feelings are good or bad, that determines what comes your way in life. Everything, and I mean everything, the people that you meet, the situations that you face, the events that happen, all of it is connected to the thoughts and feelings that you're sending out. Life isn't just random. You get back what you give. And it's pretty simple when you think of it. So what you do for others is going to come back to you. So if you help a friend when they're moving house, you'll find that help and that support return to you really quickly, like magic. But if you get angry at, a family member who disappoints you, that anger will also come back to you in the way that your life unfolds. And it might not necessarily come back in the same form from the same person, but it'll come back to you in good or bad energy. So your thoughts and feelings are like the remote controls for your life. And it isn't instant, so don't worry. Nothing like bad is going to happen the second you start thinking something bad. What you think and feel ultimately shapes everything that happens to you. For example, if you believe and feel that your day will be tough and stressful, you'll then end up attracting people and situations that will make your day exactly that way. But if you're going to think, and feel that life treats you well, you'll then attract people and situations that make life easier for you and greater for you. So you've got to see yourself as this big human magnet, because the law of attraction always delivers experiences and things based on what we're thinking or feeling. We pull in everything in life, okay? Money, health, relationships, job, all your experiences. And this happens by sending out your thoughts and emotions. So positive thoughts and feelings about money are going to bring you positive money-related situations and people. But on the other hand, if you have negative thoughts and feelings about money, you'll attract like unfavorable money-related circumstances. You might get a debt letter. You might get, an invoice that you weren't expecting. You might have to take your car into the garage. That kind of thing. So just like an echo responds to the words that we say, the law of attraction is going to respond to your thoughts and your feelings, whether they're positive or negative. It's like a reflection of what you put out into the world, so see it as a mirror. But the cool part is that you can change your life by changing what you think and how you feel. So if you think positively and you feel good, your whole life can change for the better. And don't worry, I'm not trying to say to you, you've got to be on this high bloody vibration like all of the time. Think of it as kind of like a percentage, yeah? So you've got 100%. If you were just 51% in a good vibration, you're feeling good. So yes, the other 49% of you is feeling bad, but you've tipped the scales. Does that kind of make sense? So that's why I'm saying you can only be good or bad. Because the second you go over that 50%, even just by a little tiny fraction, you're immediately tipping the scales in the way of good or bad. So your thoughts are basically the words that you hear inside your head and the words you speak aloud. So when you tell someone, oh, what a beautiful day, you first had that thought and then you said it. So your thoughts also guide your actions. So before you do anything, just try and have a thought about it. And I'm one to talk because I'm the worst for this. I speak my mind all the time. I say the first thing off the top of my head, especially when I'm on bloody podcast interviews, when I have no chance to bloody edit it or anything, or when I'm doing a live video, which tends to be why I don't do much live content. But yeah, I never think before I speak. It always comes out first. So before you do anything, just have a think about what you're about to say. Does this align with like positivity or negativity? Because your thoughts are going to decide whether your words and your actions will be positive or negative. So how can you tell if your thoughts are positive or negative? And I think it's simple. Like positive thoughts are about things that you want, things that you love, whilst negative thoughts are about things that you don't want or things that you don't love. And everything you want in life is something you love. So when you think about it for a minute, you don't want things that you don't love, do you? You don't want things that you hate. You don't want things that you fear. People only desire what they truly love. So when you think or talk about things you want and love, like saying, I love these shoes, they're absolutely beautiful, your thoughts are positive. And it's those positive thoughts that tend to bring you the things that you love, like those shoes, for example. But if you're thinking or talking about things that you don't want, like if you said, for example, oh my God, look at the price of those shoes. I can't believe that. That is so expensive. Your thoughts are then negative. And those negative thoughts are what's going to bring you things that you don't love, like stuff that is too expensive. So many people focus more on what they don't love than what they do love. They end up sending out more negativity than love, and basically, unknowingly, they're going to miss out on all the good stuff in life. Having an amazing life relies on love. People with fantastic lives think and talk more about what they love, whilst those who struggle tend to focus more on what they don't love. So when you discuss challenges with money, relationships, health, your business's profits being low, you're not focusing on what you love. So similarly, when you talk about negative news, that's why I don't watch the news. When, something or someone irritated you or frustrated you, or when you look back at your day and you think, oh my God, I've been so tired today, or the traffic was so bad, or I missed the bus, you're dwelling on what you don't love. Every day in our lives, we have lots of, millions of things that happen to us. Lots of very, very small things that the mind doesn't even consider as part of our lives because we're just on autopilot. So if you get caught up in discussing what you don't love, all those little things are going to keep on bringing more struggle and more difficulty into your life. So the key is to talk about the positive aspects of your day. Share the good news. Talk about the successful meeting that you had at work. Appreciate your friends and family. Emphasize on your good health. Express your aspirations. Do something that makes your heart sing. Talk about your goals and dreams in life. Discuss the situations and interactions that went well during your day. Which is why this kind of brings me on to journaling as well, because it's why we do journaling at the start and the end of the day. Because when we do it at the start of the day, we're given gratitude. We are preempting how our day is going to go. We are given love for that day ahead. And when we do it at the end of the day, just before we go to bed, we're obviously saying, today was amazing. You're looking for the good bits in it. Today this happened. Today that happened. It all went so well. You've got to focus on what you love to attract more things that you love into your life. That's when, people say to me oh, you shouldn't be talking about money or how much you earn. My mum said the other day, she was like, I can't believe you put that story on Instagram and Facebook about Chanel and how much they paid you. And I was like, well, why shouldn't I be talking about money? Get fucked. I didn't say get fucked to my mum. I don't speak to my mum like that. But she was like, oh, you shouldn't be talking about money or how much you earn. And I'm like, no, mum. I was like, the more we talk about things like this, the more our body is going to release those endorphins of happiness, the more that we're going to grow to love those experiences. I always say to people, don't keep things inside. Shout it from the rooftops. Celebrate all the little wins along the way because it'll help you get even further. If you keep repeating negative thoughts and complaining about what you don't like, it's like you're putting yourself in a cage. And every time you focus on the things that you don't love, you might as well just be adding another bar to that cage because you're shutting yourself off from all the good stuff. So people who live fantastic lives talk more about the things that they love. You don't see Beyonce talking negatively, do you? You don't see Miss Taylor Swift talking negatively, do you? This way, they open the door to all the good things in their life. They feel as free as birds in the sky. If you want to have a wonderful life, you need to break those cage bars that are holding you back. So give love, speak about what you love, and in the words of Kelly Lorena and Entrance, love will quite honestly set you free. So you absolutely have the power to change your life because you can endlessly think and talk about what you love. And that means you can endlessly draw all the good things in life towards you. However, your power goes beyond just thinking and speaking positively about things you adore because the law of attraction responds not only to our thoughts, but also to our feelings as well. So to fully utilize its power, you've got to genuinely feel that love. When we think about it, at the heart of manifestation is the power of belief. We've got to believe that something is truly, truly meant for us and truly headed our way for it to happen. So our thoughts and our intentions have the potential to manifest things into our life when we have that true belief. So what is it that fuels that belief and helps it transcend the barriers of doubt and negativity? When you think about it, the answer is always love. It's love for the goal or the desire itself. That's basically what's fueling that belief, yeah? When we love something deeply, our belief becomes unshakable. We're more likely to persevere and take the necessary actions to make that then a reality. So manifestation often begins with self-love. We've done a couple of self-love challenges in the Manifest with Mart app, for example. And I remember one person specifically messaging and they asked, what does this have to do with manifestation? When we truly love and accept ourselves, we open the door to abundance in all aspects of our lives. Self-love is the foundation that, we build our dreams and our desires on. It's the belief in our worthiness to receive and achieve. And that belief is, from where the manifestation comes from and where the manifestation comes to fruition. When we love ourselves internally, we're more likely to set these larger goals and pursue them like harder than ever before. We can persist through all those challenges and all those setbacks. Self-love is what provides the strength to silence that inner voice, that's telling us that we're not good enough or we can't do things, and just trust in the process of manifestation. So the law of attraction teaches us that like attracts like. So in the context of manifestation, that means that love attracts love. Positive energy attracts positive outcomes. So by radiating love and positivity towards our desires, we're going to create that harmonious vibration that's going to then resonate with the energies of the universe. Love is a powerful catalyst for action. Me and Fran were just talking about this the other week, and we were talking about, how we have felt so empowered almost to do everything that, we want to do in terms of our business, in terms of our personal, in terms of our spiritual lives. And it all came from how much love we gave to you lot at that event the other week. And that's where it all comes down from. Like, it's literally shot us to this new height where, we're seeing this love that we had for you guys and love for that event and love for that night as being such a powerful catalyst for action. When we love something deeply, we are naturally inclined to take inspired action towards its realization. And that love-driven motivation is what's going to propel us to overcome obstacles, adapt to challenges, persist through difficulties. Love is what fuels our determination and keep us committed to the journey of manifestation. Even when it seems long and hard, keep on going. I've said love so much, haven't I? Never mind. But love does play a crucial role in manifestation. When we manifest from a place of love from other people, our desires often take on a selfless and harmonious nature. And that alignment with the well-being of other people is going to resonate with the, interconnectedness of all life. The universe is going to then conspire to support our manifestations. So when we have even love for other people, that's going to bring a sense of purpose to our goals. It's going to make them even more powerful and transformative. And you know what? Like, this is kind of why whenever a person that's new to crystals or crystal healing, they come up to me, they ask, what should I start with as my very first crystal? It's hard to say for me because, I don't know what's going on inside your body. But 9 times out of 10, I say start with a rose quartz, because rose quartz opens up the heart chakra to love. Not just love as in between you and your partner, but it also helps you to see love in every single situation. And by opening that heart chakra, it's going to then allow the energy to circulate around it. And in turn, that's going to allow self-love to come inside. And then that's going to be love and passion for little goals that you might have. And it's going to have a massive snowball effect. So if you haven't got one already, get yourself on cannycrystals.co.uk and get yourself a rose quartz necklace, because where that rose quartz sits on your chest bone when you have it as a necklace pendant, that's exactly where your heart chakra is. So you're going to be basically feeding it all of this beautiful, calming, loving energy. And that's going to open you up to love. And in turn, it's going to help you manifest whatever you want in your life. So I hope that that's kind of covered everything that we need to know, about the power of love. I really hope that you've enjoyed this website as well. And just before I go, and listen up for this, because you might see some changes to my Academy website, cannycrystalsacademy.co.uk, over the next few weeks. Don't worry, I'm just having a complete rebrand of it. She got the money from Chanel. I'm obviously piling all of this money back into the business, by making things better for you and making that user experience better for you. Obviously, I just built the Academy myself this time last year. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, had no website design experience. I just wanted it to, when I look at it and I look at other people's, I just want it to look more aesthetically pleasing for you all. So if you have got access to one of my courses or workshops and you hop on one day and you can't get on, please don't worry. It'll only be down for a few minutes, but I just don't know when that will be. Okay, so that's the heads up. But speaking of online courses, and listen up, because you can now sign up to my Achieving Your Goals workshop. It will go live on New Year's Day. Okay. It's just £20 at the early bird price, and it's going to really, really help you to plan out the year ahead. There's lots of info in there that will help you manifest your best 2024 by using crystals, feng shui, visualization, EFT, subliminals, and so much more. You'll get a free workbook to work through. There is a 90-minute live workshop, which will be at 7 p.m. on New Year's Day. You will also get a bespoke subliminal to help you achieve your goals, and you'll also get a guided meditation as well. So if you want to come and join us, I will put the link to the workshop in the show notes below, but I'll also put it in my Instagram bio as well. So if you click the link on my Instagram bio at the very top, it will open it up, and just click on the banner that says Achieving Your Goals Workshop. Okay, and I hope that you'll all join me there. I'm so excited. There are only 500 spaces for this. I haven't even advertised it yet, and I think 35 people have signed up already. So thank you. Very appreciative of that. I haven't even bloody advertised it. So yes, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to help me out by leaving a rating or a review. It takes mere seconds for you to do, but it really does help me out in ways that you wouldn't believe. Honestly, ratings just push the episode up the charts. More people see it, more people listen. And don't forget, you can also get 10% off everything site-wide at cannycrystals.co.uk or cannycrystalsacademy.co.uk with the discount code, which is the word podcast, okay? So I'll see you all next Friday for another episode of Canny Crystals, the podcast. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.